Computer. Is
Hey, sorry, I am late.
no worries. We're glad you're here.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Oh, so Jen, you are the de facto chair.
Oh, wow. Okay, do I need to open the meeting or?
So yes, we can begin now.
Okay. Ooh. I don't have, hold on.
Agenda.
Yeah, let me pull that up. Sorry, everybody, just give me a second. And is this being recorded and has recording started?
Oh, sorry, that's a good point. I mean, we do have Joe from cable here, but we always record it too as like a backup.
Yeah, I think it makes it probably easier for Roseanne with the minutes.
Recording in progress.
Got it. Okay. Okay, just bear with me all for just a second. Did you send the agenda? Which,
Yeah. I can tell you it's on an email. When did you send it?
You prefer that I email it to you?
let's see, I've got the minutes.
Is it on the town website too? Is that faster?
Which, was it
March
from
2.
the?
March 2, it was emailed.
March 2, got it, okay. Oh, there it is. And does this have the remote language in it, just that we can?
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
on, did I put that on page 2?
Yes.
Okay, all right, it's just pulling up on my computer. Just 1 second, please. My goodness, any time here with the internet connection.
The new computer, and I swear it's slower than my old one.
I think Fios is sick of me working from home for 2 years, telling me to go back to the office. Here it is. Just a second. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so are we ready to go? All right. So good evening. Welcome everybody to the Easton Audit Committee meeting of Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. In keeping with the ongoing emergency order from Governor Charlie Baker to limit gatherings and maximize social distancing under legislation passed to address remote board meetings during the emergency declaration, this meeting will be conducted remotely over Zoom. Attended by board and committee members will be remote, and remote attendance shall count toward quorum. This meeting will be broadcast live and recorded on ECAT. Okay. All righty. So, so we need to begin. First item on the agenda is the committee reorganization. So Len is our outgoing chair. Thank you again for all of your service. Are you in Easton now, or have you?
No,
your other home?
I'll be back in May.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So then we will need a new chair then of the committee. So I think typically in the past, we've had somebody in the community member position as the chair. So I know that I am the designee from the school committee. Kelly, you're here from finance committee. Is Mark joining us tonight, or was he unable to join?
Unable to join.
Unable to join. Okay. And we have Stephanie as a community member, and we believe we have an open slot for a community member. So does anybody have any thoughts on chair of the committee? I know we haven't had a chance to meet all that often. I've been on for, 4 years at this point, so I have the longest tenure, but as mentioned before, it's typically been a community member who's been the chair. So I don't know, Stephanie, if you have any thoughts or interest in leading the committee, or what people are comfortable with. You're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted. Stephanie,
Stephanie, you're muted.
Can someone send
Stephanie,
her-
you're on mute. Okay.
Sorry about that.
There you go. We could see you talking.
Being new and only being involved in this since COVID, I probably would not be the best person to chair. But I do recall on our last meeting, did Mark express an interest in this?
I don't think you did.
No.
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
Kelly, do you have any interest in leading?
I'm brand new to this committee, so I personally think it makes most sense, Jen, to have you lead it since you have the most tenure.
Okay, so if somebody wants,
Maybe Stephanie could be a co-chair and learn from you.
yeah, we could, yeah, that sounds good. So if somebody wants to make that nomination, we can go ahead and get that in to get the reorg done. And then as, when we get, when Mark's able to join and we get, a little bit more experience under our belt to get another community member, if there's an interest in changing things up, we can revisit in the future.
I'll make that nomination then. I nominate you, Jen, to be the chair. Anyone second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all right. So all in favor then? If we can do a roll call vote. So for a roll call vote, we just do your last name and then yes or no. So we can start with Kelly,
Lamb, yes?
Stephanie,
Elia, yes?
and Star, yes. I accept the nomination. Thank you. Okay, and so then I nominate then Stephanie Ilya to be the vice chair of the audit committee. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay, great. Okay, and so roll call vote.
Lamb, yes?
Stephanie, do you accept?
Elia, yes? I accept.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. And Star, yes. Okay, all right, great. Wow. Landy, are you going to stick around, or we'd love to have you as a guest if you'd like. If you have the, yeah.
Actually have Len on our agenda.
Okay. So do we want to
That up?
do we want to move that up, or do we want to move through the town report? Since Len presented the town report, do you want to give an overview of that? Has everybody had a chance to read it? And you did present at the select board meeting in December, is that correct? Okay.
Yeah, we went through the report. No big surprises other than what we had discussed in our last meeting and through the audit. I did find that the Board of Selectmen was actually receptive to looking at the long-term deferred compensation of employees issue and the funding of that. I think they understood the seriousness of that. We just talked about the big swings and how the town's taken advantage during COVID of getting funding, and generally the town was in great position, and the board of select people, we call them now, I guess.
Select board.
Select board. Select people works better for me, but it is what it is. I was surprised they were receptive to figuring that out, and I think it really helped that Mark is on the board as well, because I think he's been on the positive side of the issue when he's been on the board. So I think I'm hoping that the town can deal with that better, but we'll see.
And just to be clear, you said deferred compensation. Did you mean OPEB or were you talking
Yep,
about something?
exactly.
Okay.
Both
Okay, great.
both of them actually.
Okay.
Yep. So.
Okay. All right, great. And I know that that's that's something that is being looked at in budgets and negotiations currently. So that echoes, that reiterates what you just said, that it is very visible, I think, in all the decisions that are being made around budgets and planning.
That's great. And Jen, I know you're all over the issue as well. With me on it for a few years, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a big, giant number that just keeps getting scarier and scarier every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, people new to the committee, I mean, it's been our #1 hit through, even eclipsing when the town did that operational audit. I mean, we've always knew that this was so much bigger than that. So, I mean, that's kind of like where we are. I think, we're always looking at that. So, and Wendy's been great with that as well. Thanks.
Great. Well, thank you to both you and Wendy for putting together the summary for the select board and for doing the presentation. I watched it. It seemed well received and had really good feedback from them. So thank you for that. Does anybody have any other questions or comments about the annual report? Okay. All right, great. So I think we can then move on to the next item on the agenda, which is recognition of our now former member, Len Berkowitz. So Wendy, did you want to start with anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Len, I know you were hoping to have like one more meeting and get one more meeting in before your term did expire. It was just really tough to do that around the holidays, but I'm really glad that you were able to come back and meet with us, because I felt like you didn't really get your due. Your last farewell meeting. So I just wanted to thank you for all your assistance over the years. You've contributed to the town, on so many boards and committees throughout your residency in Easton, and I just really appreciate your service, and you've been a great person to work with. An easy person to deal with too. And
Wendy, I appreciate. I mean, I worked with you when I was on finance committee 20 years ago, whatever it was, and the cable committee when we moved FiOS in and got all the equipment and set that up. I mean, you've been, I think I said it at the board of selectmen, so whatever we call that, board men or whatever. But I think I said that. I mean, you're there, and you should be recognized, because every time I've been involved with the town, you've always been there. And same with this committee. I mean, you're which is why I was going to say to Stephanie, you don't have a lot to worry about, because Wendy always helped me get to where I needed to be. Setting up meetings, doing whatever, helping me with the agenda. So, it's there's always been a lot of help on the committee, and I will say that when I first got on it, it was a scary committee. So it morphed into that was just the first year. It morphed into people who are really bright, really committed to the town, and really cooperate and work together and not against each other. And I think that's just really positive. It was a really good experience for me. So thanks to everyone on the committee now, everyone who's I've worked with. So it's great. Thanks.
I'd like to say, Len, thank you for your leadership over the years. And I know that when you started on the committee, there was a lot going on with the operational audit, and there was a lot of work that came out of that. So for those who are new to the committee, the town did commission a very extensive operational audit a few years ago, and Len really led us as a committee to evaluating all of the recommendations and the output from that, examining everything, consolidating it, and reporting out to various committees and stakeholders in town to deliver the results of the audit. And now we have, I think it's probably been about I think we're coming up on 5 years since it was 4 or 5 years since it was conducted, but it's still providing some valuable information, some great reference points as budget decisions are made and departments are looked at. So, Len, thank you for spearheading that. It was massive, right? Hundreds of pages of text and charts and tables and results to go through.
I got thrown in the middle, so it was
Yeah.
it was bizarre, but we got to vote on it. It was definitely interesting. So.
Yeah, and I think you've always had great great dialogue with the auditors who do the annual fiscal audits. Really good feedback and questions for them that have helped lead the team and help shed some light on some areas of focus. So your expertise will be sorely missed.
Yeah, not really. You guys are pretty good.
That really will be.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything.
Well, thanks. I'm going to sign off. And I once again, thanks everyone. And Wendy, good luck. Talk to you guys later. See you.
All right. Thanks, Len.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, and let's see. Okay, so next up on the agenda, then we have the fiscal year 21 audit update. So Wendy, do you have for us?
Yeah, so the audit is underway. They're doing field work, still primarily remotely. They've got a nice portal that we upload all of the information into. And that's worked out really well. So they're in the process of doing that. We're in the process too of our next OPEB valuation. So that will be out pretty soon. And we are looking to do a borrowing in June. So we're gonna need to get the audit, done sooner than it has been in the past. So we're targeting the end of April for that.
Okay.
Did you say bargaining? And is that what you said? Or borrowing?
Borrowing, yes.
And so the audit plays a role in that?
Yes, so for when we go out and do a bond issue, the audited financials are included in the official statement that goes out when it gets bid on. And we're based on the way, interest rates are trending. Our financial advisors have recommended that, if we're going to do borrowing, we should probably do it sooner rather than later, because they're anticipating that with every Fed meeting that they could potentially, maybe not the next couple of meetings, but there's probably going to be small incremental rate hikes. So rather than wait until the fall, which we would normally do, they're recommending that we just do it now. And they're going to work with us to give us some estimated scenarios about what the debt service is going to be, and so that we can structure it accordingly so that it would still, fit within the budget.
Okay. So then, do you have a date when you think we should plan to meet to discuss with the auditors? Do we want to try to get that tentatively scheduled now?
Good idea. It's probably going to be a busy week. Perhaps we could meet on the 26th. It's a Tuesday.
Of which month?
Of April.
April, okay.
Yeah,
I will be away from April 20th to April 27th in the Dominican.
Ooh. That's nice.
Make sure you vote absentee.
Okay, so perhaps we could meet on the 28th. The Thursday, though. I mean, we typically don't meet on Thursdays, but is that school committee?
I have a school committee meeting, yeah. That is, I'm up for re-election, so assuming that doesn't change things. So the election would be on the 23rd, so
Oh, all
So we
right.
would see how that, yeah, would there be any chance we could do it before then? Or
Yeah,
do you
let's see
think
if we
that's
can,
too
yeah, let's see if
soon?
we can meet beforehand.
Okay,
The, is the 19th, is that April vacation? Is that gonna be a problem?
it is. I'm around, Stephanie and Kelly, I don't
I'm
know
around.
if you, yeah, you're around? Stephanie, you're around?
I'll be around. Yep.
Okay. I mean, that could work. We could tentatively put it out there, check with Mark. And then we also need to, coordinate on getting somebody appointed. Talk to the select board about how quickly they can do that, as well. But yes, so maybe we could look at, I think it sounds like we could at least have a quorum on the 19th. Of course, we'd love to have Mark there, but we can at least get the date to him.
Jen, does the community member do anything else besides participate in this committee? Are there other responsibilities that they have to
Nope.
fulfill?
Nope, it's just, yeah, just audit committee, yeah, just participating in the meetings.
Okay, I can reach out to some people too.
Okay. Okay, well, hopefully that will work. That way, you know, any election activity wouldn't impact, you know, the movement on this either way and getting the report reviewed and accepted, so. Okay, great.
Next item. So, well, if you guys want to move on, we can move on to the next item unless there's any further questions about the audit.
I don't have anything else on that. So if we want to move on to the audit contract.
So I wanted to put that on the agenda because the fiscal 21 audit is the last year of the contract that we have with Melanson. So, you know, to pursue a new contract with Melanson, or we have a couple of options. Basically, we could just do it like a 1 year for this year and then work on a more extensive 3-year contract. Or we could do we could do a 3-year contract with Melanson. I feel like it would be like if you're gonna get quotes from like other firms to, you know, put that out there and get it back and evaluate them. Because I know I'm feeling the compression of time with the budget and getting everything done for that, and getting this audit completed. So my request, if the committee wanted to get other quotes from other firms, then I would ask that we do a 1 year with Melanson and then pursue the 3-year scope with getting prices for the following year. Unless, you know, and obviously if the committee wanted to recommend a contract with Melanson, you know, that's fine too.
So can you remind me of what we did from, let's see, it was the 19 through 21. I know we had talked about this before we extended the contract the last time. Did we get other quotes, or do we know how long it's been since we've done an RFI? Your audio's cutting out a little.
Oh, sorry. I think that we did get quotes from other firms the last time around. And I think, yeah, I believe that we did. The prices were all relatively comparable, and I don't know if Melanson was necessarily the lowest price, but I think it was within like $1,500. So it wasn't a lot of money for the difference, and the recommendation was to just continue with them. They did a thorough job, and I know the request was also, I think, to maybe bring the price increase within 3%, which they had done.
Wendy, can I ask you a question? How much does it cost per year?
So that that varies. Let me just bring up. My computer is really slow today.
I feel your pain.
So one of the variables in the audit fee is the price to do the student activity review. That I think is like approximately $6,000, and that's done. It's done every other year. So within that 3-year contract, I believe it was done once, twice tops. Let's see what I have budgeted for this year. I have 43,000 budgeted for this fiscal year.
And is there a discount if we go with 3 years versus 1 year?
I'm sure they probably give us a better price, but a lot of times when it's 3 years, there is a little bit of an escalation on, the other years, years 2 and 3.
I'm just wondering, if it's the same price, then yeah, going 1 year to, makes sense. But if it's gonna be cheaper and you're happy with their service and they're, reasonably priced, then, why not just stay with them?
I can ask them if they would be willing to, hold the fee at the current price. I think that the next year though, we may have to do the student activity audit. So, if they're willing to charge us what they were going to charge us before, in the past, I can certainly ask them if they would be willing to do that. And if is it, amenable to that, then.
When does their, I guess when do we need to be under contract with them for the fiscal year 22 audit? Is this something that we could vote on at the April meeting if we were to gather, if you were going to feedback? Okay, great. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I think if you could go back to them and just ask, what their options are in terms of, maybe a 1-year extension of the current contract versus a multi-year contract. If we could take a look at those, then I think we would have the information that we need to decide what to do. I do think it's certainly a best practice to at least go out and get some feedback on competitive firms for any contract, but if there's a substantial upside to locking them in for a multi-year contract now that we think is in line with what we had gotten before. And I can dig through the old minutes to see what we had looked at and discussed before. We can have that information for the next meeting as well. It'd be helpful. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions or feedback for Wendy on that? No? Okay. All righty. And then next item on the agenda is approving the meeting minutes. Let me just pull that. So we have 2 sets of minutes, one from June 22nd and one from April the 4th. So has everybody had a chance to read the minutes, or does anybody just get them and need to take a peek at them before we go ahead and vote? I think the ones from the 4th are let's see, actually, so from the 4th. So the attachment that I have, Wendy, for August 4th actually looks like the agenda. Was a follow-up sent?
Yes. There was a follow-up email.
Okay.
I noticed that I
Okay.
had done that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was at another meeting right before this one that, on a couple of hours. Just pull those up, make sure.
All right, yeah, I forwarded that, and I didn't realize it was the agenda that was attached. I thought I had, in my email, had forgotten to just attach them. So I read that one quick, but the other,
Do you have the time that the other ones were sent?
the one from the 4th, I actually did not send those today.
Okay.
Those I sent.
Oh, those are from back in December. That's right. I had reviewed in December. Okay. Yep. Okay.
I think I just hit reply all without.
There they are. Yes. Oh, you know what? I had actually, through my files, I printed them. Okay. Sorry, y'all. It's been a day. All right. So does anybody have any, well, I guess we can look at the minutes from June 22nd first. So does anybody have any questions, comments, or edits on those? No? Okay. Alrighty then. So I make a motion to accept the minutes from the June 22nd, 2020. Hold on. What's the date on these? Are those 2020?
The August ones are.
Oh boy.
Not the,
Okay.
not the June.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So I did them in actually. Yeah, I've already made the motion. So I make a motion to accept the minutes from June 22nd, 2021. Can I get a second?
I second.
Okay. And roll call vote.
Lamb, yes.
Delia, yes?
And Star, yes. Okay. All right. So the next set of minutes is from August 4th of 2020. I make a motion to accept the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. And roll call vote.
Lamb, yes.
Delia, yes?
Star, yes. Okay. Great. Okay. So last item on the agenda then is any committee notes or updates. So it's kind of a round table. Anybody have any?
I'm about to have a committee meeting next. So.
Oh, okay. That's right. This year's at 7:30? Okay. Busy night. Busy night. Okay. All right. Well, this is, I'm glad we were all able to get together and get to the business at hand. Stephanie, I know Kelly pretty well from some other organizations in town, but I know we haven't had that much of a chance to meet, so I will reach out to you just so that we can coordinate on roles and responsibilities. Wendy, do you want me to send a note out to everybody, or do you? I'll send the note out to everybody, including Mark, on the tentative meeting date, and if we get that, if you can then go ahead and get that on the calendar, we'll move ahead with that. And then Wendy, do you want me to connect with you on the process for working with the select board to get a new person appointed? I haven't done that yet. I can reach out to Dottie directly if we need to. I don't know how involved you typically have been in that in the past.
I'm not too involved. Usually I just, would, talk to probably like Michael Blanchard and, be like, just, kind of remind him that we did have that vacancy on the committee. So, I mean, I'm certain, I can certainly do that.
Okay, yeah, if you wouldn't mind reaching out, maybe shoot an email and copy me, and then if there's any follow-up I need to do directly with Dottie to get that, posted where it needs to be posted and promoted, and hopefully we can get some interest and get somebody in there within the next month or so. That'd be great.
Excellent. And again, if you did have somebody in mind, I would say, please within like the next week, have them contact Michael Blanchard, mblanchard at easton.ma.us. there's a form, I believe that needs to be filled out for that. It is on the website. If anybody wants to email me if they're interested, W Nightingale, that's NIGHTINGALE at easton.ma.us. If you need the form, I would be happy to email that to you.
Okay. All right, great. Well, thank you for that. So I guess we can, if nobody has anything else, I'll go ahead and make a motion to adjourn. All right, so I make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay, and roll call vote?
Lamb, yes?
Ilya, yes?
Star, yes. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and we will, we'll be in touch and hopefully have our next meeting in April.
That's great.
Great. Have a good
Good
night.
evening, everybody.
Thank you.